You froze on a phone call in English. You knew exactly what you wanted to say. You had practiced it in your head. But the moment someone picked up, your mind went completely blank. You said, and there was a painful 3-second silence that felt like 3 hours. That has happened to almost every English learner on the planet. And if it has happened to you, stay right here, because this lesson is going to change that forever. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Leo and I'm Tina. And today we are giving you 100 essential phrases for phone conversations in English. Real phrases, natural phrases, the exact words that native speakers use every single day when they pick up the phone. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what to say when you answer a call, when you make a call, when you leave a message, when you can't hear someone clearly, when you need to end a call politely, and so much more. So whether you're nervous about calling a doctor's office, a restaurant, your boss, or a customer service line, we have you covered. Let's go. Here is something interesting that Leo and I have noticed. Many English learners can hold a face-to-face conversation in English with no problem. They can chat with friends, have meetings, even give presentations. But the moment a phone call comes, panic. And there's a real reason for that. On a phone call, you cannot see the other person's face. You cannot read their expression. You cannot use hand gestures to help explain yourself. You only have your voice and your words. And on top of that, phone English has its own unique vocabulary that you don't always learn in school. Phrases like, put me through, speak up, I didn't catch that, I'll get back to you. These are not things you typically find in a textbook, but native speakers use them constantly. That is exactly why we created this lesson. Let's start at the very beginning. The phone rings. You answer. What do you say? If it's a personal call from a friend or family member, the simplest thing is just to say hello. But if you don't know who's calling, it's more professional and more helpful to identify yourself right away. Say hello, this is Tina, or just Tina speaking. That way, the caller immediately knows they've reached the right person. At work, you go a step further. You might say, good morning, this is Tina speaking, or Tina Chen, how may I help you? It sounds polished, it sounds professional, and it makes a great first impression. Now, what if someone calls and asks specifically for you? They say, may I speak to Leo? In that situation, you don't need to say anything complicated. Just say speaking. That single word tells the caller you are already on the line. It's simple, it's clean, and it's very natural. Now, let's flip it around. You are the one making the call. The first thing you need to do is identify yourself clearly. Don't wait for the other person to ask who you are. Take control of the conversation from the start. Say hello, this is Leo calling, or hi, this is Leo from Daily English Talk. If you're calling a business, you should also state your purpose immediately. Don't make them guess why you're calling. Say hello, I'd like to make a reservation, or hi, I'm calling to schedule an appointment. Clear, direct, confident. That is how you open a phone call the right way. But what happens when the person you need isn't available? This is incredibly common, and you need to know how to handle it smoothly. You ask for them politely. May I speak to Sarah, please? Is Dr. Johnson available? Could you put me through to the sales department? That last phrase, put me through, is one of those phone-specific expressions we mentioned. It means to transfer or connect your call to someone else. A receptionist might say, I'll put you through now, or please hold while I put you through. When you hear that, you know your call is being transferred. Now, if the person isn't available, you have options. Don't just hang up. That's a missed opportunity. Ask when they will be available. When would be a good time to call back? Or you can ask to leave a message. Could I leave a message? Or may I leave a message, please? If you choose to leave a message, keep it focused. Include 3 things: your name, your phone number, and the reason you're calling. Say something like, please tell her Leo called. My number is 555123. I'm calling about the meeting scheduled for tomorrow. That's everything they need. And one important tip, when you give your phone number, speak slowly, very slowly. Repeat it twice if you can. My number is 555123. That's 555123. People are writing that down, so give them time to do it correctly. What if you are the one taking a message for someone else? The phrases are simple. Would you like to leave a message? Can I take a message? Make sure you write down everything carefully. The caller's name, their number, and what they need. Then repeat it back to confirm. You want to make sure you got it right. So just to confirm, your name is Mark and your number is 555456. Is that correct? This small step prevents big misunderstandings. Sometimes during a call, you need to step away for a moment. Maybe you need to find a document, check a date, or ask someone in the office. In these situations, you need to ask the caller to wait politely. Say, "Could you hold for a moment, please?" Or "Please hold." Or "Can you give me one moment?" In casual conversations with friends, you might say, "Hang on a second," or "Hold on." When you come back to the call, always acknowledge that the person waited. Say "Thank you for holding," or "Sorry to keep you waiting," or "Thanks for your patience." These small phrases make people feel respected, and they make a big difference in how professional you sound. Let's talk about one of the most stressful phone situations, when you can't hear or understand the other person. Bad connections happen all the time. People speak too fast, too quietly, or the audio cuts in and out. Here is what you do. If you can't hear them, say, "I'm sorry, could you speak up, please?" Or "The connection isn't very good, could you repeat that?" Or "I'm having trouble hearing you." Speak up is a very natural and completely polite expression that means please talk louder or more clearly. You can also say, "Could you speak a bit louder?" But speak up is shorter and more commonly used by native speakers. If someone is speaking too fast and you're losing track of the conversation, be honest about it. Say, "I'm sorry, could you speak more slowly?" Or "Could you repeat that, please?" Or here is one of our favorite phrases from today's lesson. "I didn't catch that." This phrase is golden. It means "I didn't hear that" or "I didn't understand that." And it sounds completely natural and professional. Much better than just saying "what," which can come across as a little rude. Use "I didn't catch that" instead. For example, "I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name. Could you repeat it?" Or "I didn't catch that last part. Could you say it again?" Native speakers say this constantly. Now you can too. Let's move on to ending phone calls, because this is something people really struggle with. You don't want to be rude, but you also don't want to be the person who can't get off the phone. The key is to signal that the conversation is wrapping up before you actually say goodbye. You can say, "Well, I should let you go," or "I won't keep you any longer," or "I think that covers everything." These phrases give the other person a heads up that the call is coming to an end. It feels natural rather than abrupt. If you are the one who needs to end the call because you're busy, be polite but direct. Give a brief reason. "I'm sorry, but I have another call coming in," or "I have a meeting in 5 minutes, so I need to get going," or "I should get going, but it was great talking to you." Then move into your goodbye. For professional calls, use "Thank you for calling," or "Thanks for your time," or "Have a great day." For personal calls with friends, "Talk to you soon," "I'll call you later," and "Take care" all work perfectly. Before you hang up, if there are any important details from the call, confirm them. Say, just to confirm, "The appointment is Tuesday at 2 p.m, correct?" Or "Let me make sure I have this right, you'll send the contract by Friday." Repeating key information at the end of a call is one of the most professional habits you can build. And what about calling back? If you need to reach someone again later, say, "I'll call you back later," or "Can I call you back in an hour?" or "I'll give you a call tomorrow." If someone promises to call you back, you can respond with, "Okay, I'll wait for your call," or "I'll be available all afternoon." These phrases help both sides know what to expect. Now let's look at some specific real-life scenarios that come up constantly. First, making an appointment. This is probably the most common reason people call a doctor, a dentist, a salon, or any kind of service. Start with, "I'd like to make an appointment," or "I'd like to schedule an appointment." The person will usually ask what day and time you prefer. You can say, "Do you have anything available on Monday morning?" or "What times do you have open next week?" or "I'd prefer an afternoon slot if possible." If you need to change an appointment you already have, say I need to reschedule my appointment or can I move my appointment to a different day? And if you need to cancel entirely, say I need to cancel my appointment for Thursday or I won't be able to make it on Friday. Make it is a great little phrase that means to attend or arrive. I can't make it to the appointment simply means I can't be there. Use it naturally in conversation. Next, calling a restaurant for a reservation. Tina shared at the beginning of this lesson that she once went silent for 3 full seconds when a restaurant asked for her name. It happens, but now you'll be ready. Call and say I'd like to make a reservation for Saturday night, or do you have a table available for 4 people at 7 p.m? They will ask for the date, the time, how many people, and the name for the reservation. Sometimes they'll also ask for your phone number. So you might say, I need a table for 2 on Friday at 6:30. The name is Leo. Perfect, but be flexible. If they say, I'm sorry, we're fully booked at 6:30, they're telling you every table is reserved at that time. Fully booked, all booked up, completely full. These all mean the same thing. Be ready to say something like, that's fine. Do you have anything at 6 or 7 instead? Now let's say you're calling a store to check on a product. You want to know if they have something before you make the trip or place an order. Ask it this way. Do you carry Nike shoes in size 10 or do you have the new model in stock? In stock means available to buy right now. If they do, they'll say yes, we have those in stock. If they don't, they'll say, I'm sorry, that item is currently out of stock or we should have more in stock next week. If they don't sell that product at all, they might say, we don't carry that item. Carry in this context means to regularly stock or sell something. Customer service calls are often the most stressful because you're usually already frustrated when you make them. Something went wrong with your order, your product is broken, your service isn't working. Here's how to handle it without losing your cool. Start by explaining your problem clearly and specifically. I'm calling because I have a problem with my order or I bought this product last week and it's not working properly. Be specific about what's wrong. If you feel the need to express your dissatisfaction, stay polite but firm. You can say, I'm not satisfied with the service I received, or this situation is unacceptable, or I'd like to speak to a manager, please. Staying calm will actually get you further than getting angry. If you've been put on hold for too long, when someone comes back, politely say, I've been waiting for about 20 minutes. Can someone please help me? That's assertive without being aggressive. Emergency calls are their own category entirely and deserve a special mention. If you ever need to call for emergency help, speak clearly, stay as calm as you can, and get straight to the point. Say, I need help, or this is an emergency. Give your location immediately. I'm at 123 Main Street. Then explain what is happening. Emergency services need location first, everything else second. Know the emergency number for wherever you are. In the United States, it's 911. In the United Kingdom, it's 999. Across most of Europe, it's 112. Having that number ready in your mind could make a critical difference. What about when someone calls you and you don't recognize the number? You can ask politely, who's calling please, or may I ask who's calling? If it turns out to be a sales call or spam, you are completely allowed to say, I'm not interested, thank you, and end the call. You don't owe anyone a long explanation. And what about wrong numbers? They happen to everyone. If someone calls you by mistake, simply say, I think you have the wrong number, or there's no one here by that name. If you dial a wrong number yourself, apologize quickly. I'm so sorry, I must have dialed the wrong number. And if your phone accidentally calls someone while it's in your pocket, that's what we call a pocket dial. You might also hear the funny term butt dial. Both are used in everyday conversation. Just apologize and move on. Everyone has done it. Voicemail is something many people dread leaving, but it doesn't have to be complicated. Keep your message short, around 20 to 30 seconds. Include your name, your phone number, the reason you're calling, and when they can reach you. Something like this works perfectly. Hi, this is Leo calling for Sarah. My number is 555123. I'm calling about the project deadline we discussed. Please call me back when you get a chance. Thanks so much. That's it. Give them enough to know who you are and why you called. Don't tell the whole story in the voicemail. They can ask questions when they call you back. And for your own voicemail greeting, keep it simple and professional. Hi, you've reached Leo. I'm not available to take your call right now. Please leave your name, number, and a brief message, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks. Clean, friendly, and professional. That's exactly the tone you want. Conference calls bring their own unique set of challenges because multiple people are on the line at once. The golden rule of conference calls is always say your name before you speak. Don't assume people know your voice. Say this is Leo, and I think we should, or this is Tina. I'd like to add something. Also, mute your microphone when you're not talking to avoid background noise. If you need to jump in politely, say excuse me or sorry to interrupt, or if I may add something here, body language doesn't exist on a phone call, so your words and your tone carry 100% of your communication. And if the call is cutting in and out, a bad signal, say I'm losing you, or you're breaking up, or I can only hear every other word. Suggest calling back. Let me try you on a different line, or can we reconnect in 2 minutes? Now let's go through the vocabulary that makes all of this work, because knowing the right words is the difference between sounding confused and sounding confident. Available means free or ready to speak or meet. Is the manager available means is the manager free to talk right now. The opposite is unavailable, as in I'm unavailable this afternoon, meaning I'm busy. Hold as a verb means to wait on the phone. Please hold means please wait. When you are waiting, you are on hold. The music you hear while waiting is called hold music. And when someone comes back, they should always say thank you for holding. Confirm means to check that information is correct. Just to confirm, the meeting is at 3 p.m. This is something you do at the end of calls to make sure everyone has the right details. Reschedule means to change the date or time of an appointment. I need to reschedule for next week. The opposite action is to cancel, which means to remove the appointment entirely. Put through is a phrasal verb meaning to connect or transfer a call. I'll put you through to the billing department. Transfer and connect mean the same thing and can be used interchangeably. Speak up means to talk louder or more clearly. Could you speak up, please? Very polite, very common. I didn't catch that means I didn't hear or understand that. It is the polite, professional replacement for just saying what. Use it every time you need something repeated. In stock means a product is available to buy right now. Out of stock means it's not available. Back in stock means it will be available again soon. Inquire is a formal word meaning to ask for information. I'm calling to inquire about the position. In casual situations, just use ask. But in professional contexts, inquire sounds educated and polished. Follow up means to contact someone again to continue on something. I'll follow up with you next week about those details. Apologize means to say sorry. I'd like to apologize for the delay is formal and professional. Sorry for the trouble is casual and friendly. Get back to means to contact someone again with an answer or information. I'll get back to you by end of day. This is one of the most frequently used phrases in professional phone conversations. Learn it, love it, use it. And now for some general tips that pull everything together and make you sound like a natural on every call. First, smile while you're talking. You can genuinely hear a smile in someone's voice, and it makes the entire conversation feel warmer and more welcoming. Second, speak clearly and at a moderate pace. Don't rush, especially when giving names, numbers, or addresses. Third, find a quiet place before you make an important call. Background noise is distracting and makes communication harder for both sides. Fourth, have a pen and paper ready or open a notes app. Write down names, numbers, dates, and key details as you go. Fifth, always confirm important information before you hang up. Repeat back the details. So just to confirm, your name is Dr. Patel and the appointment is Thursday at 9 a.m. That is correct. Sixth, if you promise to do something after the call, actually do it. If you said I'll email you that document, send it within the hour. If you said, I'll call you back tomorrow, call back tomorrow. Following through is what separates reliable communicators from forgettable ones. Now, we want to hear from you. Here is our question. What is the phone situation that makes you most nervous? Is it calling to make an appointment, dealing with customer service, talking to someone who speaks very fast, answering a call from an unknown number? Tell us in the comments. Write the most stressful phone situation for me is, and then write, I will use the phrase to handle it. This is real English practice, and reading other people's comments might give you ideas you hadn't thought of before. Phone conversations in English are not as scary as they feel. They follow patterns, they use specific phrases, and once you learn those phrases, you have a toolkit you can reach into no matter what situation comes your way. Every call you make from today forward is a chance to practice, to get comfortable, and to grow. Even native speakers get nervous on the phone sometimes. What matters is that you keep going, keep practicing, and keep showing up. That's what you're doing right now by watching this lesson all the way through. That takes real dedication. If this lesson was helpful to you, give it a thumbs up. It genuinely helps us keep making content like this for you. Subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss a new lesson. We post new English conversation content every single day, and we would love for you to be part of this community. Thank you so much for being here. Have an amazing day, evening, or night, wherever you are in the world. We'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, everyone.